talking about in terms of structure, and I think
Mhm.
that's why we do need to reiterate how important fathers are in the home. Um, if you're growing up in a house where there's no structure, no rules, or there are rules, but it's coming from a woman that is unstable, irrational, emotional, it's just going to breed that within daughters. And then when she goes out to date, that's what she's seeking, and she hates structure. So, I grew up with my dad. He's still very influential in my life. I'm at a kind of transitional period where it is time to go underneath a man's leadership and structure. So, just to be a little transparent, it does feel like Lexi describes, I feel lost in some sense. Because I do want to be a mother, I want to be a wife, but I have to work on preserving myself. I can't just go out here because I do feel lost and make temporary decisions that will affect my ultimate desire. So structure is very, very, very important.
Why are you up?
Because I got some important shit going on here. What do you think?
Boom, the world class.
What would you say to that question that they had over there? Bring it back up.
Yeah, my mute didn't want to unmute. Maybe I'm not supposed to talk, so I don't know. I kind of see this conversation in phases, right? Like, what is a helpmate? It's going to be, or the woman is going to be, or should be, adaptable to that gentleman. Base level expectation is to, yeah, absolutely, Savannah, bring peace into that house. Phase two, reduce the expenses so that you're not a source of an expense yourself, like a major expense. Phase three, I don't yet know if there's a phase after this, but ideally, phase three, you're an asset. Like, you're helping amplify, exponentiate. I mean, Noble, you're the word guy, like whatever other word there is.
That
Make more abundance in that place, whether it's financial, whether it's peaceful, whether it's spiritual. It's a spirit of more, an essence of more. And like I said, I don't know if there's a phase four. Let me work on that. But I'd like to aspire to at least phase three. I'm not perfect, but I think I'm at the point in my life where I can be an asset to my gentleman, right? And I'm more than happy to go beyond that as well. And I think that should be the goal for every woman who is a wife or in a long-term relationship. Again, this is not exclusive to monogamy or polygamy. That is our goal and our role as women.
So, first of all, I just want to acknowledge y'all too. I want the chat to acknowledge you young ladies, because the display of femininity that you've been putting on for 1 hour and 27 is world class. That's why you've been here. Lexi yesterday, you yesterday too, Savannah. These are the type of women we want in our house, whether they want to be polygamous or monogamous. Women that get it. This is the type of women everybody want to marry. You know what I'm saying? And because I don't know. I don't be having these problems. I do finding, what I want. I just, I be busy. I'm pretty, driven, and then I'll be trying to break nobody hard and be like, listen, I'm a little rough. I'm gonna get you in a minute. No. Relax. I'll get you in a second. Relax. But I definitely want to acknowledge. I want you men to pay attention to what, like, when I say femininity, I mean femininity, like what a woman is a preserver. I fight against that claim that women are nurturers. I don't think women nurture. I think nature nurtures everybody. I think women are preservers, though. I think the way nature sets things up is that it's already designed to perpetuate itself, and then all the women have to do is do exactly what y'all have said, and that's keep it how it is. And because it's around you, it'll grow in its natural habitat. Like, you are the habitat, you are the environment, and all your job is as a woman is to preserve. That's it. Preserve, meaning you get up and you serve. Ser, S-E-R, it means to protect. So you're protecting that which was already here. That's all your job is to do. I need you to do anything new. I don't need you to break barriers. I don't need you. That's my job. Blunt force trauma, make a new way, pioneer. I need you to just protect what has already been here with the level of care and the helpmate ability that you need. You don't have to worry about the wolves at the hill or the coming army. That's your job, to preserve what God already put together, or what the men in your family, the nation, the principles you have put together. And that's it. And you see that with these young ladies here and with Lexi, that they're preserving things that God made. And that's what we asked for. So I definitely had to take time out and acknowledge you guys, just with the contrast, the hair, and you natural? Because the faux locks been tricking me. I ain't gonna sit there. I'll be getting tricked. Faux locks been getting me.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm tricking you right now.
You tricking me? Okay. I've been got. I ain't gonna. I admit when I be like, I don't know who. It's fine.
So my rule is I'm wearing faux locks until my hair goes fully gray. I cannot wait for salt and pepper locks, but right now my gray is spotty, so that's not cute to me. I need full salt and pepper locks so I can come out every day just looking like an empress, an actual empress, right? I can't deserve that title until I have the perfect salt and pepper locks. But I had natural locks in my hair since literally the turn of the century, because I'm like twice as old as Savannah, right? And it wasn't until I want to say 2015 that I went super natural. So my fro just got bigger and bigger. I've got a big fro under here. But yeah, I like the locks look, and certainly during the pandemic, it's been helpful to go back to the old Natasha, but without putting locks in my actual hair.
Did I answer the question though?
You did.
Qualified?
You did. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I did answer.
the idea of preservation. I've recently become better at propagating plants, right? And if you know anything about botany and how plants work, like you can make a cutting of a plant, put it in water, put it in soil, or whatever medium it is that you decide, and it grows a whole new plant, right? But from what was already there. It's fascinating.
Right. It is. It really is. That's why I'm passionate about what I say, because I'm like, if you go, okay, Noble was right. Oh, they sound good. Let me try. If you go and try it, and you just see nature, it's fucking mind-boggling. It's like what? Yeah. You just try to participate in preservation of what already is fine. You don't have to reinvent the wheel to get to buy a grocery that you've been buying all your life, and use this like the botany practices, and see a whole nother. It's like, I've been wasting my life. It's crazy. It's like, man, I'm not big on it because I know I move. I'm just not a gardener. Like, I wish I was a farmer, but it's amazing to see women kind of get that. Like, once you see a woman start gardening, they stay doing it. They keep doing it because it's like it's a part of what you are. Stuff grows because you're there. That's how the mindset needs to be for indigenous autochthonous women around the planet. That things are great and things grow because you're there. It's mindset. I say what I've been saying on this channel since I've been here. My goal is pretty selfish. I wanted to be a part of the greatest generation of all time because I was here. That's it. Because I was here. Your goal as a woman, that's why I don't like monogamy, because it takes that mentality out of your head. You just want to keep somebody else from something. No, things are supposed to compound, not grow. Compound because you are there. You're a preserver. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to be dishonorable. You don't have to say crazy stuff like women create life. It was alive when it got to you. Stop being arrogant. You just do your job. Men like me will make sure you get full credit. Men like me will put you where you're supposed to be praised. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to worry about that part. It's freeing. You know what I'm saying? What she say? Dalllas says, oh my gosh. She said, that's my thing. We ain't living in the same house. Hey, a man will accommodate that. Cool. Say less. Well, he said that's why Natasha is my president. Facts. Oh. Natasha's winning. You run. I'm voting. I ain't gonna sit there hold you. Shout out to Tommy V. I don't know if y'all wanna. Oh, everybody call me the word guy now. That's fine. Savannah had to drop.
Things. Being the word guy is pretty good.
Ain't that something? Liberty Heights and going to Northwest Baltimore. I had did so bad in the first quarter of my 12th grade year, I could have fell for the whole year. Now people know me for words. Ain't that something?
Life kind of goes like that sometimes. It's the irony. Yeah.
My mentor, he showed me some things that I appreciate. He ain't showed me a bunch of cars and all that, but what he showed me was the thing that, like, the biggest stunt I saw was his mom was sick, and they were hemming and hawing about insurance, and he just stroked a check and said, "Here, stop wasting my mom's time." You know what I'm saying? And she was able to live. You know, COVID recently took her, peace be upon her, but I was 20, 21 when that happened. You know what I mean? Because he put himself in position, and that stuck in my brain. And he said, we reach our goals by standing on the books we read. That's what he told me. He said, read the books is like time travel. He said, if it took somebody 60 years to come up with this living experience and you can get it in 2 weeks, you just travel 60 years in 2 weeks. I said, I'm in. You got to tell me no more. I'm in. So when you're reading these books, you getting a deeper meaning. Etymology always been put in my face, but I never knew it as a word. And then I got in my community, and they made it a big thing. Kind of took to it, because when you, to the point where each letter has a meaning. Each letter is a word. And once you see the real meaning of words and you see life, it's amazing. That's why I say the words I say. Women are preservers. Femininity is not outfits, lip gloss. Femininity is a foundational, universal principle that exists in the universe. It's not how you angle the picture, the angle of the camera for the picture. It's not, again, lip gloss. It's not makeup. It's not outfits. It's not hair. It's universal order. That's what femininity actually is. It's what all the niches around the planet knows. It's universal order, process, standards, preservation. That's what femininity is. It's not outfits. Cows have femininity. Plants have femininity. Yes.
Well, what would you say is the status of femininity in 2022 for human women, not the cows?
Yes. The status, non-applicable. They choose not to participate. And I rejected the statement that men say that women are masculine. You don't have no choice to be masculine as a woman. You have masculinity within you, like a rate of 20%, but you primarily feminine. So when you're a female and you're being masculine, as they say, you're not being masculine, you're being demonic. You're being treacherous. Well, same thing with a male. If a male is being feminine, you're being demonic. You're being treacherous. So they're in a place where they need to learn what femininity really is, and you just go to the creature that created it, which is Earth, the universe, or God, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't have to say so. You don't have to say so. It's just what it is. You don't like it, leave. Find another universe. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have the patience.
The multiverse.
Yeah, go to the multiverse. Or hey, the metaverse. Oh, hold up. What's the virtual verse? What is it? Metaverse?
Yeah,
Whatever it's called. It's coming. Metaverse. You can go there. Just put your body into the camera and just get in there and be there. But here, it's universal order. That's it. That's femininity. It works. Order. Be orderly. Go ahead.
Okay. And so I think order is my love language. Order and structure is my love language. But what would you say is the first step then to get back to femininity, or for a gentleman to get back to masculinity? You said going back to earth, but like tangibly, what would be like a step for them to do?
Know ye the truth, and the truth shall make you free. You just got to be aligned with truth. I mean, I could tell you it's 2 words, but those words are kind of like, they're kind of private, but I tell you. It's I surrender. That's it. You got to know your place with a man, and you gotta. It's the most beautiful thing in the world, but they're offended by it. A woman needs to know her place, because I think that her part, and kind of lose her brain, but it's yours. You got to think, if all this world has been going on, this planet has existed for a long time, but then You can just come the day that you were born and you have a place. Her place, y'all place, so-called black women's place in North America, period, including Canada, you have a place. If you have a place, that means that you don't not have a place. So you have a place where you belong. So all you have to do is find who and what you belong to. So in a relationship, women know who they belong to. You belong to him. It's not a flirtatious. It's like him. That's where I belong. He's a place. Men are the place you come from. You know where you belong. And there's no place like home.
I'm a sappy romantic noble, so no, I definitely agree. There's an element of humility in that, right? And
Yeah.
I think people take the term humility, being humble, as something that's negative when there is like affirmingness in it. Is self-affirmingness a word? I don't know. Self-affirmation within humility.
There you go.
So yeah, there's self-affirmation within humility. I think it gets you one step closer to self-awareness, and to circle back to this whole topic of monogamy versus polygamy. And hopefully what folks are getting out of this conversation is the idea of being open to those two relationship dynamics, or perhaps another relationship dynamic. What you call it isn't the most important thing, but that surrendering, that humility in relationship, I think, is going to be the most important thing when you find your person, right, who is able to lead with legacy, so on and so forth.
I'm looking up. Memory serves me correct. Ain't that something? Can't make this up. Look at the first word. Submissive. And when I remembered, my memory does serve me correct. I usually just go to the power root of words, which is pre-Indo-European, but you can see it means on the ground or earth. And I bring that up because femininity, like in certain cultures, we look at, we have the 4 elements, which is consistent with the 4 seasons of the year: fire, air, earth, and water. Air and fire is masculine. Earth and water is feminine. So to be humble is to be earthy, right? Yeah, Tommy, somebody said it. I always keep earthy women around me. Yeah, because I keep women that are grounded. That's what femininity is. Masculinity is positive charge. Femininity is negative charge. Negative don't mean negative, but you have a car called a Koenigsegg Agera 1-to-1. It has 1,500 horsepower. It has weighs 1,500 kilograms, right? So it has a 1-to-1 ratio. It can go, I think, 247 miles an hour. All that being, I think it's like $3.5 million. If the damn battery isn't grounded, that fucking car, the door won't even open. That's how powerful femininity or magnetism really is. And magnetism always grounds out. That's where you get your grounding from. That's the power of femininity. That's the power of being humble, and that's the power of being grounded. That's why I said, you might have heard me say it, it's a really big word to me: standards. Because where else do you stand but the ground? Language is art. It's amazing how they set language up. It's pretty simple, but then the initiates, people that on the planet, they know these things. And I just be saying stuff, people just be like, you have no idea what you're talking to at all. You get more value from me than you're gonna get anywhere else on this planet. I'm telling you exactly what you have to pay millions of dollars and do Lord knows what to understand. They got people doing crazy stuff just to get the little bit that I just gave. So to be humble is to be grounded and to be centered, and that is what religion is. When you're grounded, you're back bounded to the planet. You have a bounded or binding contract. That's femininity. That's the power of femininity. Religion is feminine because you have a bond. That's why she has that umbilical cord. It's literally the same thing, and they have to exist, like CJ was saying. He was quoting you. Structure in order, and with structure in order, in that order actually. Order is extremely important, man. Because if you think if I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. Y'all women, I know you just came in, Savannah, but we're talking about femininity and order right now, right? Do you want a nigga? You don't want a nigga, period. But do y'all want a man to try to stick his Johnson in you before he actually earns any type of your respect, like your respect or any? You know what I'm saying? No, of course not, right? That's how you know. Order is more important in women than structure. Because y'all break structure in a heartbeat. You like order. I want you to do it in a certain order. Put my leg up here, then choke me, then slide me over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a certain order you want things to. I'm sorry. It's a little bit. This is Sunday morning. God forgive me. Sorry. But it's a certain order you want things to be done in. And it is like you said, your love language. And of course you love structure. But a man will love structure. So actually we love what we want from other people. Because we know their free will allows them to, like, it runs the risk of me not getting it. So if I'm structured, I need you to be structured. If a woman needs you to be ordered, you need to tell me what order you need me to do. What you want me to do first? I was doing this first. Why are you yelling at me? Order. We don't want the women that are disorderly. That's why I don't like monogamy, because it's disorder, because she puts herself before men. No. You need to put the man first, because again, like I said before, I need to put you in a space where you can be a preserver. I need to break the barrier. You got to put the man first, like an arrowhead. He needs to break barrier. You don't need to be first. You're going to get tired. You're going to run out. If you look at me, I'm designed for violence. I look hostile. A lot of dudes talk a lot of shit when they're in my face. I look violent. I got a lot of sharp points in my face. I look like a damn demon, especially when I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm designed to break barriers. You're not just y'all are curvy and wavy and earthy and I look like a sword. You know what I mean? That's because I'm skinny. So it's just understanding them fundamental things: dominant relationship, polygamy, monogamy, understanding the foundations of things that allow people to be human. I fought really, really hard to be human. I wasn't. I come from two people that killed people and got away with it. I come from devils. I work very, very hard to be human. That's the number one thing I'm proud of. I don't care how much money I make. I will never brag about anything other than I bust my ass to be human, because I used to practice on how to hurt people and get away with it for a long time. So I spent a lot of energy to learn these things, because I needed to know that it's not okay to take shit from people and get away. It's not okay to get away with it. How do I learn how to function like a human being and have some type of internal solvency? And so that, to me, that's my full answer to what is the feminine, what's the state of femininity for the women? Is that there's something that I don't have a choice in. I'm born in 85. This stuff was here before I got here. It's going to be here well after I'm gone. And my only intention is not to die twice. Is to live a life worth remembering. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? And I'd love to leave like 37 babies if I could.
That's the canon contract, the Nick Cannon contract.
Yes. My guy's like, I'm about to die. Y'all got to help me out now. Let's get to these comments.
I like what you guys were talking about in terms of structure, and I think that's why we do need to reiterate how important fathers are in the home. If you're growing up in a house where there's no structure, no rules, or there are rules, but it's coming from a woman that is unstable, irrational, emotional, it's just going to breed that within daughters. And then when she goes out to date, that's what she's seeking. And she hates structure. So, I grew up with my dad. He's still very influential in my life. I'm at a kind of transitional period where it is time to go underneath a man's leadership and structure. So, just to be a little transparent, it does feel like Lexi describes, I feel lost in some sense. Because I do want to be a mother, I want to be a wife, but I have to work on preserving myself. I can't just go out here because I do feel lost and make temporary decisions that will affect my ultimate desire. So structure is very, very, very important.
Amen. Lincoln Ward says, dope conversation. Thanks for giving something to think on. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Start the conversation, and people. That's a hot tag statement in this space. But I like I need to read the book again. But Miguel Ruiz, 4 Agreements, Be Impactful with Your Words. the type of person I am. I want to make an impact. I don't want to just, be here. I want to make it matter. I was, yeah, like podcasts, right? I'm a lot like podcasts, actually. Completely opposite in other places, but a lot like them. I have more intention behind my transparency. One, because I literally have no fear. It's not a good thing, actually. But I know as a leader, my mentor used to say, leadership, as a leader, you got to do two things: provide an example and an opportunity. And how initiates used to teach people in the past is through manuscripts and stories. So I just tell my story. So my older brother got killed when I was 8, and that's been like the motivating factor for me in life, seeing my brother dead in the casket. So I cried a lot, 2 or 3 times a day from 8 years old to 15. And then I met my goddaughter, and like I said, I was practicing being a very violent, evil person. And she was a baby. She wasn't even 1. She was like, I don't know, 6 months. And I used to fight a lot. I used to beat people up a lot. If I can't admit to nothing else, I can admit to that. And she woke up one day. My girlfriend at the time, that's where I met her from. She was watching her, so she was busy. But I know I was good with babies because I had a god sister. So I pick her up, and she's just looking at me and just smiling, just like giving me the craziest smile. And then she's like, not only smiling, she's like looking around my head. And it was the first day I really cried, like one of those healing cries, because I asked her, I said, what are you looking at? And the whole thought came in my brain, like, what she's looking at. The person you keep trying to hide. The person you keep trying to act like you're not because of the shit you're doing. And I made a commitment that day. I said, if I don't do nothing else, I'll make sure she's not like me. Heartless. Right? And then literally like a week later, I was just really upset about my brother being killed, and the pressure it puts on you when you heard your whole life you're gonna die at 21, and you have a big brother who was like that guy died at 21. And I said these words. I said, I'm gonna make it matter. You know what I'm saying? And when I go to talk, I only talk to help, to make a difference. I don't like to talk. I really absolutely positively don't like to. I just started talking at like 20 something years old. I was very violent. I used to beat people to fuck up. You know what I mean? So I think our stories, being a person that's in religion and have religious titles, I think testimonies has always been important. And that's why I'm passionate about what I say about polygamy, because I watch it destroy people. And I think if monogamy, I watch monogamy destroy people. And if nothing else, the monogamy community needs to step back and say, are we being as honest as we need to be? Are we destroying people with our principles? I've done that in my life. You know what I mean? The thing I thought was real, keeping shit 100 and niggas better be this and all this hood shit. I put a lot of people in danger because everybody not as sharp as me. And because we're so passionate about things, we don't pay attention to how it affects the people behind us. If somebody behind you not as strong as you, and my mentor always said, and the OGs always said, it's always somebody watching you. Always. You know what I mean? That's why I say what I say at the end of videos. You know what I mean? So, passionate thing, Shit I had to do. Shit like that. That's what I know podcast was like. What? Wait, what happened? What did I miss? I say choking at some point. I did say that.
Yes, she did.
I did say that. Yeah, that was a little while ago. Yeah, she said that. She said, hold on, I was bringing my facts. Okay, yeah. All right. I know I went on a little monologue. It's not even my show. Savannah, why you keep letting me talk? It's not my show. It's your show. Do y'all see how I hit? First of all, let me just...
I'm not going to interrupt you. You were saying some real stuff. But I like how the conversation evolved. Go.
Yeah. It's going to naturally evolve because you have people that I knew I could have this conversation with y'all, and that's why I really wasn't worried about getting a forward person, because y'all are very mature, y'all care. You know what I'm saying? That's what I realized as I got older. The thing that makes me strong is not my talent. The thing that makes me strong is that I care. You know what I mean? And that's what I look in people that care. Y'all care. Podcast cares. Mr. Palmer cares. Gail Knight cares. Jenny cares. B Rose cares. Tommy B cares. Big Mike Drop cares. You know, I deal with people that care. I can't deal with people that don't care. We're not gonna vibe. I'm 36. I look amazing because I'm healthy. I care about myself. I care. We have health habits, and I want to pass those to the next generation. You know, I may be wrong, but I care. like a slight possibility of being wrong. But you got to deal with people that care. You know what I'm saying? And care to have these conversations. I only say stuff that may offend people because, as far as I know it, it's the truth. And I think monogamy needs to be about all things need to be reevaluated, and leave no stone unturned. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Transparency and communicating what it is that you want from your partner.
All right. I'm sorry, I got lost in a train of thought of just all that goodness I just heard.
We didn't do this because we like you. We did this because we are you.
Boom, the world class.